And hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? It's good to have everybody here. I'd like to say hello to my guests. First and foremost, we have Sparky. Hey, Sparky, how's it going?
It's going okay. How about yourself?
I am doing good, doing real good. Uh, and it's just one of those things that excited to be here, excited about this topic at hand. And it's going to be a fun show. Let's go ahead and get this individual up here before he changes his name again.
And for all you trolls on the internet that say that I'm Eagle Nick,
Okay, we don't need an Eagle Nick audits.
Yeah, we can push him backstage.
Yeah. Backstage, back in the basement.
you bring me
Yeah, we can keep him backstage.
Hey, Will, how are you
It is
doing?
my First Amendment right.
Okay. uh, and we're having a good old time with Will. Hey, Will.
My name is Eagle Nick.
I thought it was Scoots McGee.
Yeah, I thought it was Scoots McGee. Yeah, personally. And we have David E. Persons and Frogger Roundup in the house.
What's up, David E. Peoples, fraud of the roundup?
David, that's a good question. Did you click on the wrong link? Did you click on the link that I sent you and everyone else in the email? And for whatever reason, my chat's not showing up on my. Oh, there it goes. There we go. I knew there was something I need to do. There we go. I want to put it on the overlay so we can see it on the screen. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I did send you the link, David. But here, I'll send you the link again, real quick.
So when do we start lying to the audience?
So, because unfortunately, I sent the link to Will in the same email. And apparently, it works for him. Unfortunately, so you know how it is.
My voice changing app is working again, apparently.
Your voice changing app.
Yes.
Okay, Maverick. All right, David, check your email now. It should be in there. Uh, but yeah, I have to. I'm sorry, I cannot look at that picture underneath Maverick. I'm gonna have to put him backstage. Uh, but yeah, we're waiting for David to jump in here. He should be here shortly. He should be able to get in. So I find that interesting when he does come in. I want to ask him if he's having the same issues you were having yesterday, Sparky.
Uh, I don't know what the issue was with the leaks yesterday, but
Mm-hmm.
I sure didn't have a problem. I had a problem. Didn't have a problem with the one that you sent me today, though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that issue might have been. That's kind of crazy. But you know what? We'll just blame Will since he's not here.
Will probably has. He probably sends bad links.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably does send the bad
He
links.
probably steal links from Eagle Nick audits and just send it to other people.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, that's a good question. You should have one. I don't know why you don't have one. I'll
Tell
fix
him to
that.
check his tool chest. Or do he even know how to work a wrench?
That's a good question. a good question. And so now we finally got some class in our backstage. I'm getting ready to throw them up here real quick and see how he's doing. Sharpie! Hey, David.
Hey, you hear me
Well,
now?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah, we can hear you, David E. People.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it.
yeah. Someone's in your background there. But so many years ago, back when I was in high school, I remember one of my teachers saying, and I did not really think about it much, but one of my teachers said, if man can think it, it can be done. If we can imagine this task, this whatever, this science fiction fantasy thing that we see, uh, uh, the results would be we can actually physically do that.
Right.
Something I had a hard time believing. Shortly afterwards, after remembering hearing that, Star Trek: The Next Generation came out. And one of the things that
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that these guys walked around in with was what they call a pad, and they were on the network wirelessly with this pad. This is how they were communicating throughout the Enterprise. And I'm sitting there thinking about, okay, how can this happen? Internet wasn't, although it has been around. Internet has been around since the '60s, but mostly a DoD thing, not a commercial as it is now.
Well, a lot of people don't realize why the internet was invented in the first place. It was invented as a decentralized system in case of a nuclear war.
Right. It
So
was
if you
it
took
was
out one pod, the others could communicate.
exactly. It was a means to reroute that traffic if there was a setter in the middle. And it was developed by the DoD for that purpose. But even then, back then, the early mid '80s, late '80s, the concept of the internet was just not there to the consumer. We had computers. We understood concepts like sneakernet, which is basically you're getting you're taking your little floppy and you're going from one computer to another computer. Uh,
Well, yeah,
but
like I told you earlier, like if you could go back to the Jetsons. The Jetsons,
yeah,
really predicted a lot of this also.
but the Star Trek: The Next Generation had the concept of network internet, but not only that, but by Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi
Well,
that goes
they
hand
had
in
a lot
hand.
of they had a lot of concepts. I mean, what is it that they talk to people on? They talk to
Well,
people on the communication device, like what we have
well,
now
that's
in
a
our
good
hands
question.
everywhere.
Yeah, they were using basically what the inspiration of what flip phones became. That little tricorder. But yes, the pad came out on the Enterprise, and I'm like, okay, how are you going to have a? My mind was like, this is not going to happen. And now, as I'm talking to you about it, I'm looking at something on a similar lines called an iPhone,
Hmm.
and that iPhone is very much does everything that the pad did back in the Star Trek: The Next Generation. It was it's the wireless communication, is the your means to the internet that you can carry it in by hand or in your pocket. It's even smaller than the pad was. And even if you want something bigger, you got the iPad or you have the tablets.
Right.
So, and that, so it, this is kind of one of the first things when in my generation that I can sit here and say this came in my lifetime. I saw that this concept was thought of and been produced and now it's in my lifetime. So, what are other things that probably has been thought of? We've already seen the movies, and that's now out on the market that is available commercially. And the first thing that comes to my mind is transportation. One
Let me
big, big
let me ask you this real quick. I know this may
yes.
not have anything to do with it, but do you think that anytime in the future you think we're gonna have cars that actually float?
Flying cars, some in some form or fashion, yes. We're going to see a some sort of traffic that is involving flying cars. Now, are we going to see them like the thing like with the Jetsons? Probably not. They're probably going to still have wings. They're probably going, but in some form or fashion, we're going to have flying cars. We are, having an aircraft that can do. And I'm not talking about helicopters. I'm talking about F-35s, Harriers that can do VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing. We're
Hmm.
not far, so I can see us having some sort of automotive vehicle, everyday traveler, where people could fly uh, as easily as getting in their car. Their commute is getting in their little aircraft that can take them to wherever, and it'll be just as simple as getting a driver's license. It's not a flying by then though. Would a driver's license be needed? And why would I ask that question? Dave, why would I ask that question? Would a driver's license be needed in the future?
I think it will still be needed because you still have to. If you have to have auto license, pilot license to fly a plane, you still would need it to even drive a flying car. If the cars are still flying in the future, you would still need a license.
Or you could be looking at something like this. This is a Waymo, which is in a lot of bigger cities, especially in California, where the car itself is self-driving. There is no driver. It it's a cab service, and it's driving its customers to wherever safely. And this is something. So it's out there. We have that technology where we're having self-driven cars.
But surely somewhere still like some type of bug still in it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's not perfect yet. I don't think it's going to ever. You're going to always find bugs. The only way you're going to naturally get rid of bugs in programming is put it out to market. You
You
find
know, we,
bugs. You cannot find all bugs before it's while it's in the beta and the building stage. You go and discover it dear when it's actually in the market because, well, in the computer world, when you install applications, when you work on applications, your uh, your you cannot recreate every situation. But then when you actually put out there in the market, you're going to come across a computer that uses a certain type of software that may conflict with the other software, or a certain type
oh,
of computer, or a computer that does not have a certain update that may cause problems.
I'm looking at this driverless car. Will
Right?
could have used this when he had his scooter jack.
Yes, he could have. He could have had used this when his scooter was taken,
No,
and
it's a
that
difference. It's a difference between taking and jacked. Taking is somebody just gonna come up and take it. He had his scooter jacked.
oh yes, oh yes. Scoots
It's
McGee
a
had
big
his
difference.
yeah. Scoots McGee had his scooter
Pretty sure he
jacked.
was on. Pretty sure he was on the scooter, and the person came up and pushed him off, and they jacked it. That's jack. Take it if it's somebody just come up and just um take it from you. This guy probably pushed him off the scooter and jacked it from him. He ain't getting that back.
No, I guess he wouldn't be getting it back.
Can you imagine what Will's description of that scooter would be? Also, it is a pink scooter with streamers on the side on the handlebars. It
oh
has
yeah.
a flower basket in the front where he put his his bag or whatever when he takes to work with him, and on the back of it, it has a license plate that says Flow Boy.
Well, where are you, buddy? You got to get in here.
That's the reason that's the reason why I say Will should have had the driverless, the driverless cab, because when he had his scooter jacked, I mean, he could have took that home and took it to work.
Well,
But
something.
then again, it's something about somebody that want to steal a pink scooter.
Yeah. Well, it's something. Are robots not? I mean, could robots not be colorblind? Because I can tell you who took his pink scooter.
Well, robots probably, I don't think they are colorblind because you can actually program a robot to see colors. So you can either have them colorblind or not.
So this is who took Will's scooter yesterday.
A robot?
A robot.
So not only did a robot take his scooter, he got embarrassed by something that's not even human.
And
Too bad I wasn't there to see that because I would have pointed and laughed.
David, are you okay? Are you still with us, or are you?
Yeah, I mean, hear me?
Yeah, you keep on going in. You're going backstage constantly. I just want to make sure
I
everything's
know
okay.
I had a connection problem. I don't know what's going on. I think it's okay now. I kept getting
Okay.
dumped out. Okay, I'm back. One
Okay.
thing, did we lose Will? Speaking of Will?
Yeah, he said something about the Eagles game, and I had to remind him the Eagles sucks and everything like
dear,
that.
no. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Okay, they,
after the Longhorns lost, I don't care anymore.
I mean, the Bullets gonna lose anyway. They're playing Washington.
And I tell you what, Washington's been looking pretty good the last few weeks. I don't know.
I'll
When
tell
it
you.
comes to the NFL, I am pretty neutral, so
Yeah,
I don't really care.
well, I'll
Is
tell
it me
you.
or does it sound like David's on the CB radio?
Well, he's actually flying the X-wing right now, getting ready to destroy the Death Star.
I'm
Well,
just
one of the things you guys were talking about Star Trek a little while ago. One of the things that's interesting is the more serious scientific thing. A lot of what Star Trek made up about matter and antimatter and containing antimatter to use it for energy is turning out to be true. A lot of that stuff is actually very accurate. I mean, it's not, they didn't get it completely right, but they got it pretty close. And I'm always amazed by that. Because back when they made that stuff up, they didn't know anything about matter, antimatter relations and how they work against each other. And so it's really interesting that, Star Trek did a lot of stuff about, sci-fi stuff that became true.
Well, I would also argue that maybe that there had been some foreign physicist that was part of that technical writing team that kind of say, hey, we are discussing these theories that we haven't proven yet.
Yep.
So those theories did not come yesterday. They probably were around back in the 60s.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize how many things we take for granted these days exist as a result of the space program. You were talking about everything we have, someone had to think of.
Yeah.
And like portable razor, Velcro, all that kind of stuff is a direct result of stuff they made for the astronauts on Apollo and
Right.
Gemini. And another thing that's really kind of we'll get into that in a minute. But it's interesting how NASA has taken a lot of these ideas that they got in the culture and turned it into scientific realities that were really good. And the one thing that's funny, NASA spent, and this is back in the 60s, they spent $3 or $4 million trying to design a pen that would work in zero gravity. You know what the Russians did?
What did the Russians do?
They used a pencil.
Well, yeah, pencil would probably work better.
Yeah, I think we got a little too carried away on being fancy on that one. But
it's 61.
But I would think a big pen would work great in space.
A what?
Well,
I just
All right.
Well,
okay.
in 1961, Kennedy said they was going to put a man on the moon. And in 1970, they finally did.
Yeah, and one of the
Allegedly.
well,
Allegedly.
very tragically, I mean, one of the reasons that happened is because President Kennedy was assassinated. I don't think the drive would have been there if he had survived. But it happened. It did happen. You can see if you get a powerful enough telescope and know where to look, you can see some of the lunar module landing platforms on the moon. I mean, they're there. And anybody who says it didn't happen is just conspiracy theory number 744. It happened.
I'm just being facetious. I'm having fun with that.
Hey, Alan Bean went to my high school, so I got it.
Yeah. So
Alan Bean hadn't spoken at our high school.
yeah. Well, I do. I mean, I don't believe those conspiracy theories, but my goodness, there's people who do. Oh my goodness. But getting back to what we're discussing.
I'm sorry. I think he did. I think I remember his in our high school. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, kind of one of the things I was going to bring up here. Hey, my tiny chihuahua life, how you doing?
Hey, Chihuahua.
One of the things I want to bring up here is that we have this this picture that, and let me put my cat is in the way, aggravating me. Sorry.
Well, you do know when the cat, you have to work around the cat. The cat is,
Yeah, I know.
Well, don't let the cat spill anything. That'd be a real catastrophe.
Okay, so I'm going to put this picture where we can see it better. And I'm going to talk about this picture a little bit. Okay, so this is the picture background. This is actually this is the picture from the background.
If Will's still here, is this the robot that jacked his scooter from him yesterday?
No, this is a friendly robot. You can tell by the face.
Well, we ought to forgive Will his comments about football and bring him back up. Come on.
It's Will that's not on in the pound right this moment. It's not us. He would be back up by now. He's not here. It's not us. I promise. So, this picture. First of all, let's talk about how this picture got created. Very realistic looking picture, I would say. Yeah, very realistically looking.
Yeah.
However, it was not a picture taken. It was a AI generated picture using descriptions on. I wanted a friendly looking robot walking a robot dog on an iPhone in the park with
AI?
people.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, with people in the background. That's me describing what I wanted the picture to look like. It gave me a couple choices. I like this one better.
Now, was this a website you did this on?
Yes, this is a website. This is a
What's
website.
the name of the website?
Photor. Fotor. And hey, Stephen, how you doing?
But wait a minute, though. I'm looking at this picture. I just noticed something.
What's that?
Robot is a computer, right?
Uh-huh.
And the iPhone that he's looking at is a computer, right?
Yeah.
So if a computer looking at, why would we need an iPhone?
Okay, it's the point being of this picture is we're having some fun with this picture. Okay, we're having fun. But yes, you're right. Theoretically, a robot would not need an iPhone because it would have the internal communication system of its own that it can call whoever it needed to without even making any kind of voice modulate that anyone outside could hear. Well, of course, I mean, you're talking about the robot carrying the iPhone. Why would a robot need a pet dog robot?
For companionship. Well, we don't know because we don't know if this robot has feelings or any, type of,
So if I told you we could recreate this picture for real, not necessarily with the same robots and all that, but we could actually recreate this picture for real. And do it today. What would you say, David?
I don't know. I'm trying to use my imagination here, and I'm not coming up with much.
Okay, so we already know the iPhone exists.
Probably you'd probably get some kind of I don't know.
Yeah,
computer that has
smartphones. Okay,
an interactive
phones.
computer.
Yeah, phones like this do it's this. We already know that, so we're not even going to discuss that. So let's do this. Let's do this. Now
I'd
here's
like to see the robot from space personally.
that is a robot right there that can be purchased.
Okay.
You can buy this robot. Yes.
What does this robot do?
I have no idea. This is the H1. So this is the H1. And if you go over here, go to G1. The G1 is a humanoid agent AI avatar, which basically means someone you can control it from home. But you can see, look at that guy. He's dancing. He's jumping up and down. He's getting ready to go be a ninja. Oh, no, maybe not. Nope, he's dancing. Or
Well, it
he's
looks
a
like
Jedi.
he has like some type of weapon. You know.
Yeah. He's busting up nuts. So
Okay.
he's cooking. So yeah, so this guy can do a lot of things. Go back to the other one, the H1.
But why
H1,
would a
H2.
robot cook? A robot doesn't have to eat.
It's feeding its master. He can walk around. He's got strong balance.
Well, to answer, you know what? To answer that question, where you say why would a robot cook? I'm like, well, have you ever seen Rosie off the Jetsons?
Yeah, that's true. Rosie did cook.
Good point.
Yeah. But so
although one robot, or actually, I guess this is an android technically, but again, Star Trek comes in here. Look at Data.
Right. Yeah.
Concept behind Data. Man, there's a lot to talk about there because Data. They came up with basically Data is an interactive AI android.
Yes.
And advanced one, but in 200, 300 years, yeah, we might be that advanced. That's really interesting.
So now you see in this video, we have this robot here. He's walking around, and they'll come pop up right here shortly. Where is it? Come on. And there's the dog. That picture literally can be created with.
Wow.
Yes. That picture, this AI generated picture. Now let me stop sharing my screen.
Now, is the dog a robot or is the dog a real dog?
I'm sorry.
Is the dog a real dog or a robot dog?
Oh, on my picture?
Yeah.
That's a robot dog.
Okay, just want to clarify.
Yeah. So you can, if you look closely, you can see it's a robot.
Hey,
sorry, I'm not a long picture.
If you purchase that dog, I believe that it would be a whole heck of a lot cleaner.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. He would not run away and go to your neighbors and move into the neighbors down the street.
Did you ever see the movie L.A. Story with Steve Martin? There's one scene in there where he's walking up to his house and you can hear the dog inside going woof, 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 woof. And then he opens the door and flips the switch and it goes woof, 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 woof.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so and we're calling it a dog for lack of a better word, but in essence, it's a four-legged robot.
It's a four-legged robotic pet animal.
Yeah, but those things are now being used by police departments.
Yep.
So they're out there. They're being used now. Stephen, what do you mean by not the same? If you don't mind.
I'm not sure I'd want to cuddle a robot dog and play with it.
No. We're not going to want to cuddle with a robot dog. We don't want to cuddle with a cat because they'll scratch the mess out of you when you try to.
Yeah, well, that's a cat. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But that's not true. Cats are cuddly, You may want to catch them when they're in a good mood, though. But
yeah. It's a good mood, and only for the first 30 minutes, 30 seconds to a minute. After that, you got to let them down because they're done with you. All right, I'll show you my affection. Now get away.
I mean, if the police departments are using robot dogs now, will they still need, Fido?
Well, I remember when I was in the Coast Guard, there were some I never really saw one, but I heard about the fact they had like robots that would go. They could send in. It had a remote, like a remote. You could control it, and had a remote camera on it and everything. You could see what was going on. If they were looking for like bombs in a drug house or something like that, they could send that in instead of. I'm sure they've got much more advanced ones now. I'm not in touch with that, but it's amazing what we could do with robots if we applied ourselves to it.
Right.
Although I have to admit, AI makes me nervous because at what point does Terminator come true?
Yes. See, that's a good point right there. AI is Skynet was AI.
Yeah.
Skynet is the fictional system that took over the world in the Terminator movies. So Skynet was AI. We are now playing with AI. How many steps are we below Skynet? Is the question. And remember, in one of those Terminator movies, people could not pull the plug because Skynet did travel back in time and shot up all the people that could pull the plug. Before
Well, to answer Steven Seller's question, can that robot protect you? If it's programmed to, it could.
I would say so. Yes, I would agree with that.
But another, of course, if you guys, some serious reading everyone should do is read some of Asimov's work on robots and intelligence and identity. Because there's one in particular. Did you ever see the movie Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That's based on an Asimov short story that is really thought-provoking. Because, and he wrote that 50 years ago, but it's very, very interesting to think about where we are now. And another good book to read is the book that Blade Runner is based on, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Both of those are very, very scary if you think about it in the context of where we are now with our technology.
Very much so, yes. And that's a good points to make with both those movies. Because back when those movies first came out, I did not think that could be reality. Now, I don't know how far away we are from that reality.
And I would recommend to everybody, you need to see Blade Runner. It's a very good movie.
It's very good.
Ask some good questions, but read the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Because that book is something. It's wow. It's powerful.
It's just like I was telling Doc earlier. A lot of the technology really improved during the first couple of years of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2020, 2021. A lot of restaurants didn't have, they had to use, especially, in South Korea and Japan, a lot of it use, like robots to deliver food or to bring food to the table or whatever.
And a lot of places started using drones to deliver stuff.
Yes, Amazon actually explored that option several years ago.
They're still working on it. They're still working on it.
I can see it working great in bigger cities. I don't know about how it would work in a lot of rural areas, but I can see that working great in the bigger cities.
Although one thing, if President Trump goes through and does this mass deportation, which has got a lot of logistical problems to it, we're going to be back where we were in COVID during the pandemic, at least in terms of labor shortages. And
that's gonna hurt. Especially here in Florida, that's gonna hurt.
We had
I don't see that at the end of the day they're going to be able to carry out what they're talking about. It's just logistically impossible. There's just no way.
Yeah. Well, no, I think the focus, and I don't want to stay on this talk too much longer, but I think the focus needs to be initially, let's get rid of the ones that are actually breaking the laws. There's
like 3 million people in the country who already they've had their day in court. They have deportation orders, and I don't know anybody's got a problem with getting rid of those. But the rest of them, including kids who were born here, and
David, I'm going to stop this discussion.
There could be a labor shortage, and robots maybe will have a role in that. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at Steven Seller's comment again and say, a dog knows who's bad. Well,
a dog, I won't say a dog knows who's bad. A dog
I wouldn't say that.
The dog
Yep.
senses their master's feelings toward a person.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's my dogs. You know, I mean, like
Sometimes,
when I was really sick with my heart surgery and everything, I could tell the dogs. I noticed the dogs could tell when I wasn't feeling good.
Right.
I mean, it was really interesting.
Yes.
I
So
know
the
because
dog knows their
if
master's feelings.
well, see, but the thing is, we say a dog know who's bad. Well, if you had, a friend of mine had a dog. A friend of mine, well, he still has this dog. And his place was being robbed, and this guard dog actually watched the people rob the house.
Mm.
He just sat there. He let the people pet the dog. The burglar. I'm like, he's supposed to be the guard dog, and he following the burglars around the house.
Some
Well,
dogs
I
are
mean,
just too
So,
I
nice.
blame the dog
so
because dogs are by nature they tend to accept people and they tend to accept other dogs. They're communal. They're by nature they're just communal. That's why
so
they
now,
run
if
it.
you,
And hey,
so now,
Cyber Action,
so
how you
now, if
doing,
you,
buddy?
so now, if you had a program robot dog that knew to protect the house and knows who's supposed to be there and who's not supposed to be there, then it's a totally different story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can
But
program a robot dog and say, well, you know, well, this person's supposed to be here. This is all who lives here. And if anybody that who's not supposed to be here, blow them up.
Well, I don't know if you want to go that far, but what happens if your mother-in-law comes over?
You can program if you don't want your mother-in-law there either. Because I'm not pretty sure if Will had a program dog, he probably would want his future mother-in-law at his house. But then again, his future mother-in-law could have jacked him for his scooter the other day. It's not the
well, that's
first time.
true. That's
It's not the
true.
first time Will got jacked by a woman.
And
Oh,
real
come
quick,
on
I'm going to
now.
stop everybody. I got to stop everybody right now. Cool Clearwater is in the house. Hey, Cool
What's
Clearwater.
up,
Cool.
Blue Clearwater?
It's
Haven't
good to
seen
have
her
you.
from
Hi,
the for a
Dennis. It's so
while.
good to have you here too, buddy. I
How are you,
appreciate
sir?
that.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
So it's good to have you guys. I appreciate y'all coming on.
Blue clear water.
I was listening to that commercial the other day. You know, when the man said, "What's beef is what's for dinner," I thought about Cool Clearwater. I really did.
Yeah, yeah. Beef.
Well,
What's
there
for
was a
dinner?
famous Marty Robbins song a long time ago called "Cool Clear Water" that kind of famous. If you're old enough to remember it.
Yeah.
I think it was Marty Robbins. Pretty sure it was Marty Robbins.
But I will also say this: with dogs, at least you can robot dog cannot bribe them with peanut butter.
That's true, and they don't
And
beg
Yeah,
then
for treat.
yeah.
another thing that you can take. Well, this personally goes between a dog and a cat, because let's just say if you have some narcotics in the house or some drugs, the dogs will actually help the police find the drugs for you. The cat won't.
All
You
right,
know,
Mr. Thomas. I would never have that kind of thing in my house. I don't know what you're doing down there in Florida.
no, but it's something is. That's something to think about. A dog will literally help the police find the drugs, especially if you have a pointer. I mean, they will literally find the drugs for you. The cat will look at you like,
Have you been
I'm
hanging out
not
at
telling.
Diddy's house or something? Huh?
No,
Well, here, okay.
no.
Let's go with this. Let's go with this. The cat would not help the police find drugs because the cat probably would already use the drugs.
I'm like, that's when
Or
you should have a
that would
robot
have been
cat. Then,
the
if you
drug.
can you imagine if you had a robot cat?
A robot cat. What's it gonna do? Just ignore you,
I mean,
robotically?
instead of the meows, it may actually have roars. I'm like, we really don't know. I'm like, if you can
That would be
program, have a
guys. That would be a catastrophe. I'm sorry.
Okay, hey Stefan, how's it going,
I
buddy?
mean, the thing is
Hey,
though,
Stefan, comment allez-vous?
I
Stefan,
mean,
comment
if you
allez-vous?
want,
Huh? Mon
I
ami.
mean, if you want to, if it save a lot of money on feeding them, all you have to do is just plug them in and charge them up.
Yeah, and if you have solar,
And what,
that would be free.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
is the robot cat doing and the robot dog doing? Oh, this over. Oh, I got unplugged and charging up his dinner time.
Oh no, wait a minute though. You can have it set up where it can plug itself in.
Right. I mean,
Oh, there are
you know
machines
how
that do that now. I mean, come on.
I mean, perfect example. You have the robot. Robot, the automatic feeder. A cat go crazy when you hear that.
Oh
I mean,
yes.
so at a certain time, you could, have like something go off and the cat go back up and plug his tail into the outlet.
Well, I'm going to take
There
this.
you go.
I'm going to go a step back a little bit. I think a lot of people has this or a version of this in their homes, and that it would be a Roomba.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we never
Roomba
got a
automatic
Roomba 'cause I didn't
vacuum.
want to get my feet taken off, but I was afraid that we were going to trip over it. But yeah, the Roomba, that's basically, that's basically what that is. So
Yeah.
No, don't leave
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
like
Well, I mean, I don't have a Roomba. I have a Shark version of it. I think it's great. It knows where my furniture's at. It knows where everything's at. It does a good job on the daily clean. Go into this room because this room is very dirty. So go clean this room for me. Thank you. It's not what I would say it won't. I don't think it's going to do a good job doing a thorough clean, but at least you have to do a thorough clean as often
and,
because it's doing the regular clean for you.
and you know what another perfect example of, if you want to talk about computers, this all the way going back to the Jetsons.
Uh-huh.
You tell me when you could doing the Jetsons, you also have what is it? Google, when you ask Google, could you please find this for me? Google all through the house or Siri.
Yes, you have Google, you have Alexa, you have
Yeah, Alexa.
Siri. Yeah. Uh,
Don't get
now,
Alexa and Siri in the fight. Can you imagine that?
AI. Imagine Google. Imagine Alexa and Siri in androids, or humanoid androids, and they get into a fight.
Well, that's where we're headed. They're already working they're working on stuff. I'm sure that to take the basic premise of theory could be expanded to have functional androids that you can say, "Hey, go cook dinner." Okay,
Mm.
I mean, but again, where do you cross the line? When do they start becoming self-conscious? When do they start possessing their own self-awareness? That gets scary.
And
Right.
yeah, talking about AI. Now AI can generate music. AI can generate stories. AI could be a useful tool to help you edit papers and put things together. In fact, the company I work for wanted us to use Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI, to help us write our year-end evaluation. And it came out, and it really came out really good. It did a great job.
Can
But
I ask you guys
I'm
a
going to
question?
play something that is AI generated music from
Before
Restream.
you, before, before you do, but can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, sure. Do
it
you want answers or
Yeah.
you want correct answers?
it depends. However y'all want to take it.
Yeah, because
do
correct
you
answers are
do
fun.
it? Do any of you all have like Siri or Alexa or Google?
I use Google primarily at my home, but because I'm an iPhone user, I do use Siri as well. But
So
Google,
so when you come in at night, when you enter your home, do you say Siri, turn on the lights, and you standing
no,
next to a light switch?
I have not gone that far with it. I don't want,
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want a machine having that much
but
control.
I mean,
I do because I have Google in my office. I have Google in my bedroom. I use Google as a means as alarm clock. I
and it's
use Google as my timer. I ask Google, "Hey Google, what's the weather like?"
and you know what the
Currently in
reason why I say
Tuscany,
that
it's
because I can
53 degrees and cloudy. Today, it'll
see.
be
There you
cloudy
go.
with a
Yeah,
forecasted high of 53 and a low of 40.
and now we had Google guest starred on our. But so I do use Google in that sense. Because I work primarily from home. I tell Google to tell me when it's 7:55 because I might be sitting at my personal computer and just goofing off, or working on something that's not work related. But at 7:55, I'm got to stop what I'm doing or wrap up what I'm doing, go log in on my work computer, and get ready to go work.
And you know, you can also confuse Google. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, it's not that difficult.
I mean, you can ask Google a question like, you know, just for you know, okay, I'm just gonna use a name for instance. Google, who is CyberX? Did Google probably say, um, let's just say Google say, I don't know. I don't know who CyberX is. And then, you know, you say, Google, can you please look up CyberX? And Google say, I already done told you, I don't know who that is. That's why I say I don't know. That's why, like, it's ways you could Google cyber, you know, confuse Google because
But if you
Google doesn't know everything.
if you go to Chat GPT, you could ask who is CyberX, and it might actually find CyberX out there on the interwebs. In fact, let's.
Yeah, one problem we're running into in education though is people using ChatGPT to write their
Yeah.
papers. And there's a great way. There's a great way to catch them. You do the same thing. You tell them, you go into ChatGPT and tell them you want a paper about such and such, and then you compare it to the kids. And if they've used ChatGPT, it'll be right
Wouldn't
there.
they be cheating though?
Yeah, very much so. That's why we're trying to catch
that's
them.
cheating. I'm like, you know, they didn't have any of that when I was in school. I wish they would have, but they didn't. I had to write my paper
And I guess there's
old-fashioned
nothing
way.
wrong with using ChatGPT as a starting point. Say you're writing a paper or something, and you have you just have trouble getting going. All right, maybe you can use it for that. But you don't let ChatGPT write the paper for you. You're supposed to write a paper to learn something, not just to learn how to use
ChatGPT is a great editing tool. It helps me when I write something. Okay, edit this place. Make sure my English is English. But not to come up with the ideas or create you a new story.
Yeah. Or to write the paper.
So here is ChatGPT's response about who is CyberX. So CyberX, we're going to see what AI says who you are. CyberX appears to be a name associated with an online persona or brand, but there is no widely recognized or specific information on someone by that name. If possible, that CyberX could be a username or identity used by someone in gaming, social media, or digital content creation. It might also refer to a character or a part of a specific online subculture. If you're referring to a specific, I mean, yeah.
Put me in there.
Okay.
Put me in there. I'm curious.
Who is David? This might be scary, David. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know.
It may tell some of your personal business.
Don't accidentally dox me, okay?
Yeah. All right. So David E. Person is not widely known as a public figure in mainstream media or historic records. However, it is possible that he could be a private individual, an emerging figure, or associated with a specific niche or field. Without more context, it's hard to provide specific details about him.
Type fountain pen in after that.
Okay. Who is David E. Person?
Just to give Thomas something to chuckle at.
You're from Austin, right? Yep.
That should end it right there. He's from Austin. I thought he was from Houston.
Well, that shows you what you know.
Okay, so you're not widely recognized. Okay, I'm just curious. How about me?
Yep. Okay, go for it.
I can answer that question. He is a guy that's a huge fan of the Carolina Gamecocks.
Well,
and who apparently Chris Ryder seems to think has a medical license.
Yeah. Let's try that again. Oh, you know what? It does not like it. Let's just continue.
Oh, I got one to put in there after that one. Put Frauditor Mania in.
Give me one moment, and I'll be glad to.
I can answer that question for you off the bat.
Well, okay, I'm going to take this off real quick. So
you're doing you right now?
I'll be back in a minute. I want to make sure it's asking for some PII, so I took it off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Cyber said he does digital parts roughly right as I do a lot of artwork on my PC.
All right. Here.
Well, the thing that bothers me about ChatGPT is that it does learn.
Yeah.
And that's kind of frightening.
So we are now putting this up. ChatGPT. Well, not one did. ChatGPT is the creator of Dr. Lanu's Storytime, an entertainment YouTube channel that covers various topics, including legal issues and science fiction. The channel features stories written by Dr. Lanu, such as Sippy Cup and other content. In addition to the YouTube channel, Dr. Lanu offers merchandise related to the channel through an online store. True. Dr. Lanu also has also collaborated with other content creators. For example, a Facebook post from Seth Missions and upcoming appearance on Dr. Lanu's streaming broadcast. That is true. That individual did. For more information and to explore the content, you can visit Dr. Lanu's YouTube channel. Here's a recent video from the channel, which is a video that I simulcast with Frauditor Mania. So very, very interesting.
And it also says at the bottom line of it, here's a person that had his pink scooter jacked by a robot the other day.
Wait. Now, that's not me. That was Frauditor Mania.
Well, Frauditor Mania, yes. It said he was riding along the street, then this robot came along and took his pink scooter.
All right, Frauditor Mania. Okay, here we go. Frauditor Mania is a YouTube channel dedicated to critiquing and exposing individuals known as frauditors. These individuals often engage in activities such as filming in restricted areas or confronting public officials under the guise of auditing for accountability, but their actions are frequently perceived as disruptive or deceitful. Frauditor Mania's content typically showcases and analyzes such behavior, aiming to debunk and highlight the questionable tactics employed by these frauditors. In addition to video content, Frauditor Mania offers merchandise through an online store featuring apparel and accessories themed around their critiques. And of course, here's that recent video. Very interesting. So
that is
very interesting. Yeah.
Well, okay, try me. Put my name in there.
Robert, I'm scared what I might get if I type your name.
So let's see what happens. I mean, it's nothing. I don't think it's gonna be anything in my personal business on there, or either, telling any personal likes. It's not gonna do any of that.
Well, there are several names, and I'm going to stop it right now. Because it's starting to putting up what some people's prior. Yeah, I was afraid that it might pop up someone's PII, so I stopped sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, smart move.
So, but but we have to be careful with that. And I don't think it actually did pop up anybody's PII, but still, it was just enough information there. That.
Hey guys, listen, I've got a meeting at 3. I've got to go to. It should only take about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll hop back on.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm almost there. I just want to let you know when I go away. That's where I went.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yep. But
it
yeah, we have to. Robert, you better be glad that I did take your name, take it down, because one of them apparently is a. Now I'll tell you offline. I'll tell you offline. In fact, I'll put in a private chat because I can see that. I can see that being Uh,
All right, guys. I'll see you in a few minutes.
I'm sorry.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, I see.
Point being, though, ChatGPT, Copilot, all those AIs work beautifully in what they're intended to do, but they can also be so
Yeah, it could
good at what
mess
they're
up
doing.
somebody's life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful. Like, we're looking up for somebody, and it's okay. Well, I'm finding several different individuals. We could have accidentally right there put someone's PII. Now I'm looking at it. No one's PII is being exposed, but
Right.
I quickly took it down just to be on the
Right.
safe side. A couple of these people had passed away, so I'm not worried about their PI. But that being said, one, but let's say, okay, we did a search on your name, and one's actually,
But
well,
let me ask you this question. Do you ever think that robots is ever gonna take over the world?
see, that's a good question. And in Terminator, that did happen.
Yeah,
Robots
it did.
and AI did take over the world. And that's a good point, CyberX. Your name, you had that name for 24 years. Now I've been using Doc Lanu for my channel name for less than a year. But I think a lot of it is, are you creating content? Are you putting yourself out there?
Right. So that's
Yeah.
when you use Chat GPT. So you have to be careful.
Yeah. So I'm actually asking about a popular YouTube channel.
But you know what? That is scary though. If robots take over the world, that would be scary because you don't know what they could do, or you don't know what they're gonna do to the human race, or would they put the human race, you know, enslave the human race or whatever. We don't know. I'm like, just if the robots did take over, but you know,
Yes.
you're gonna find one smart aleck person say, well, if you want to stop that, just unplug the nearest robot. But it's kind of it's kind of hard to do when they program in a certain way.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, but a robot does, you know, it depends on what it is. A robot does have its weakness.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you send out an EMP, it's going to end that robot's career.
Yeah, but EMP, we talking about like a computer virus.
Well, EMP is an electromagnetic wave that actually can fry electronics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So unless the robot's shielded a certain way, it would actually destroy that robot. So that's the biggest weakness in that situation. But again, if an AI got to the point where it could take over the world, what scares me about it is there will be people that would know how to stop it before it got to that point. But the robot, the computer, the AI, would know how to stop that individual too.
Right.
The AI could, depending on how much autonomy the AI has, could, for the sake of, could send out delete orders for individuals that could end the AI or could stop the AI. And no telling how it would be followed, if it would be by man or human teams, or it would be by robot teams. But I would think that the AI would be smart enough to do that before it. So it is kind of scary.
Yeah, it is very scary.
So yeah, I would say and that's. I'm sure people who are working with this type of technology that's seen it advancing putting in some protections for it not to go too far. But unfortunately, we're probably not but hopefully we will not ever see something like that able to take
Right.
over. Yeah. Do I think space travel is possible? Well, I mean, I'm talking about the space travel we currently have. I'm talking about true space travel. Let's get in a spaceship, go in warp drive, and go to another planet that can support life. Yes. Yes, I think we know space travel itself is possible. Now, can we travel speed of light, which is what warp drive is, and go to another solar system and find the planets?
Don't astronauts have to be trained, in the speed of light?
I don't think we don't have anything that can go that fast. Not right now. We don't have anything that. So how you can't really train that? I mean, so I would not know or think that astronauts could possibly be trained.
Well, that's the speed of. Well, I must be thinking about breaking the sound barrier because
yes,
that's totally different than the speed of light.
Yeah, that is totally different from speed of light because it's much slower than speed of light.
Right.
So it's still pretty darn fast. But yeah, we're talking about Mach 1, Mach 2. And so yes, a lot of the astronauts to escape Earth's atmosphere, they have to go above the speed of light. They have to go pretty darn and be. So it is a mess in that sense.
Right.
But yes, I do think we would have starships like Enterprise or Battlestar Galactica or Millennium Falcon, something able to travel to space. Would they look like what we see on TV? No, probably not. I think what we'll probably see is something similar to a
But
space.
they would have to be designed, though.
They would have to be designed. They would have to be built. They would have to be. They have to be able to withstand the dangers of space, vacuum of space, the radiation that from stars, because the sun produces radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Our atmosphere stops a lot of that radiation. You get in space, you don't have that protection anymore. So you have the ship has to protect the astronauts, the crew, from that. Before we ever actually see speed of light travel, we're going to see travel within our solar system, but astronauts or crew members have to be in a hyperbaric chamber to get to their destination for the most part, with only one or two people operating the ship or checking on the ship's status because that's several years of travel. Right now. You get a hyperspace, you get a warp engine developed, then that's going to be much, much faster. Man, you know what, dude? If this is boring, then get up here and entertain us. I'm going to just say it that way, buddy.
Yeah. Tell us how you got jacked about your scooter. Come back up here and tell us that.
Yeah. People want to know about the scooter.
Yeah, come tell us about the scooter wheel, or better yet, Scoots McGee.
So,
come on back up here and tell us.
So put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear Scoots McGee talk about how his scooter got jacked.
I mean, yeah, he already, he described. It was already hilarious how he described it to the police officer. It's pink with yellow streamers.
Yeah.
It has a basket on the front with a huge flower.
Don't forget, it has a sippy cup holder.
Yeah, sippy cup holder, and it has a side review mirror.
Mm-hmm. Got that little bell.
Yeah, the side review mirror. Mm-hmm. And the seat is wide enough where I can sit on the front, and my girlfriend KK can ride on the back.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes she probably rides on the handlebars too, right? Right, Will?
I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. She ride on the handlebar, swinging her legs to the front door. Faster, Will, faster! I can't go too fast because you may fall off.
Well,
Faster, Will. And then he mess around and go too fast. She falls off the handlebars, rolls down the ditch. You know, she has like grass and flowers in her hair. Now she mad now. You know,
someone's mad. Someone's here. Up, here he is. Here he is. We got him
I
on this.
mean,
We got him here.
I mean,
Rob, you a hater for no reason. I don't know what your problem is, Robin. Rob
I
is
mean,
a hater
you-
for no reason. I never will understand. I never.
you know, can you? So this scooter that you got jacked yesterday, you know, what actually
First
happened?
off, I don't even know. I don't even know why that's relevant.
Well, man,
Well,
it's a
I
smart.
just-
It's a smart scooter, right? It's got AI, right?
No,
Well, it
it doesn't
wasn't
have
too
AI.
smart.
Well, okay.
It wasn't
Well,
too
we know.
smart.
Well, we know it didn't have any real intelligence if it was you riding it.
It
Let's
wasn't
talk
too
about
smart.
them
if it got
Dallas
jacked.
Cowboys.
For what? They're not even in the playoffs. They haven't been relevant since 1995.
Exactly.
No, but let's get back to this jacked up.
How about
scooter that
the
you got
Miami
taken.
Dolphins? Let's talk about the Dolphins too.
What about them? What about them? They've been in the playoffs the last 3 years. What about them? They just missed one.
I mean, they're not playing today, so
That's fine. That's all right. That's okay. We can be back next year.
you'll be back
Y'all
next
get
year.
ready, dude.
How
Y'all
can they
get ready
get
to
back
lose
next
to
year if they haven't
Washington.
won a playoff game since 2006?
I mean, 2008. Get it right.
2008, excuse me.
You know, you all have it. You know, y'all get ready to lose to the former Washington Redskins.
We're not playing. We're not playing the Commanders though.
Oh no, I take
Redskins.
that back. I take that back. That's tonight. No, y'all playing. Oh, I forgot. Y'all playing the Packers. Oh, so y'all may win that.
Exactly. Head over there. Head over to my boy's house right now.
How you going over there with no scooter?
So Joe, tell me about them Cowboys.
I don't really pay attention to the NFL.
Oh, I thought was he? Oh, David. I think it's David. That's the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's David.
Well, I mean, I grew up as a Cowboys fan, but I mean, seriously, after they get out of college, I just don't. I think the athletes don't play it for the love of the sport; they play it for the money.
Well, I mean, when you're paying some dude, you know, $100-something million, $40 million a year, you know, of course.
Yeah.
Like Deshaun Watson, he's gonna be out next year with an injury. But how much money is that dude getting paid? $50 million a year to sit at home, like me.
Well, no, you're not making $50 million. You're not making $15 million sitting at home. I know that, Will.
No. His contract. He got the massive contract. He's injured. I think he tore his Achilles.
Well, he retore it.
He retore it, so he's gonna be out next year, but he's gonna get paid
He'll be out
unless
again
they
a whole
cut
other
him.
year. No, Cleveland can't afford to cut him. So if they cut him, that's gonna be a whole lot of money. What they could
That's
do
like
is
$80 million cap hit they have to pay,
him.
right?
That'd be a lot of money. So they just have to bench him.
But so exactly. So as I said, he's gonna get paid while he's sitting at home.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: I mean, if they got to pay him because he's injured, can't they make him come to the practice, come to the games, just not suit up, just kind of be helping coaching the other players?
Coaching
Give
from
them-
what?
Well,
He's terrible.
Well, no, but
Well,
he
I
still
mean,
has
I'm
to
just
about,
saying.
But in theory,
has
yeah,
to
no,
about-
the answer is correct. Yeah, he'll probably be at all the games on the sidelines. He'll have a headset on, probably help with like the second or third string guys, whatever.
still have to abide by his contractual duties and still come to practice. He still have to come to the meetings. He may not be out there throwing the ball at practice, but he still have to come.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he has to hope that the first string guy is not better than him.
Oh, what did he leave for? I still want to know about this scooter.
Yeah.
And he said it was a smart. He said it was a smart scooter. That means it wasn't too smart then.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was saying it wasn't a smart scooter, so that means it didn't have any AI. So the only intelligence it had was him, and we know that meant it didn't really have any intelligence.
No, but this intelligent, this smart scooter the thing I'm trying to figure out, once again, this is a robot. He should have been programmed knowing that he was getting jacked. The smart scooter should be able to put on brakes and say, "You're not the
You're
person
not
that I'm
Will.
programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not programmed, to ride me. To get on me. You know what? To get on the scooter.
Right. Yeah.
I
Of
didn't
course.
know the right way to say that, so I just had to say to get on the scooter.
Yeah. Now we kind of got a little sidetracked because we were talking about AI a little bit, and I did want to point out something. So with Restream, which is the service that right now I'm using to host this panel,
Mm-hmm.
it gives me option for AI music. So I'm going to put it here. Music that's supposed to be, probably maybe good for this theme of topic. Let's see. And this is AI generated. Oh, so I can do that thing.
Well, it's not licensed, so you could use it on YouTube without getting the privacy strike, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is AI generated music that is for Restream. This is the purpose of this to be kind
That
of
would
like
be that would be some good music to use when if you ever wanted to replace the music that you have now when on your opening. I would say opening credits of your live stream or your video.
well. Here's the thing: that music I do have license for.
Oh, you do.
Yes,
That's your own music.
it's not my music, but I do have a service that basically has instrumental music that gets us license for that type of music, and of course the it's got a very very good pop to it, and I enjoy that music to play at the beginning of my show.
Yeah.
Here's another one right here. This is different, but I think like with this music right here, and again AI generated. This is the type of music I would like to play during my live streams as background music to kind of add more flavor to the show. I think that would add a lot of flavor to the show,
Mhm.
especially when we're talking about whatever we're talking about,
Right.
like and I'm just randomly picking on different. If you see what I see on my screen, is I got choices like one was future pop, no one was indie rock, one's acoustic, one's jazz, one's minimum house, one's lo-fi, one's chill hop. What we're playing right now is indie rock. Like I said, this is going to be down tempo. I'm getting ready to put up. And again, it's just like I said, a great little way of doing a little bit of background. And if you wonder what hip hop sounds like, but it takes a moment for it kind of get generated and get started. But I think it's not a bad feature within Restream. Now I'm not 100% sold to Restream right yet. I'm going to be looking at a couple other services. I've actually sent out an email to another creator that said that he is getting ready to leave Restream, not Restream, but StreamYard. And I cannot remember who he said he was going to go to. So I asked him if he would let me know who he was going to go to so I can look at it.
Well, I think Hands and Fraud comedy show still use Restream, but they use the
No, she
Restream that
uses
has like the
StreamYard.
duck in the corner.
She uses the StreamYard.
Well, not
And
Restream, but StreamYard. Yeah,
yeah.
they still use StreamYard, but I think the one with the duck in the corner, I think that's the free version of StreamYard.
Yeah, if you see the free version, if you see the duck, more likely that individual's using the free version. And the free
But what's
version
wrong
is
with that
good.
version though?
Not really anything per se. It does, but it does limit some with some things. Biggest thing to me is that you have to put their branding up, and that could be, excuse me, and that could be a distraction.
Deborah, you mean like the duck?
Yeah, like the duck.
Deborah?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, but you can't have as many people in as guests. You can't have so you might be limited to 4 or 5. I have to look it up. And yeah, and I may go back to StreamYard, just a free version, because I mean I'm right now I'm playing with different versions, different ones.
hmm
So and right now Restream seems to be good. I like a lot of features it has. I like the overlay with the chat overlay. So you can watch the chat in this window. I like how, let's say Will wanted when he came into the panel, and he wanted
right.
also simulcast on his channel. I like that feature because it does that out, and I can see chat from both channels. Now, if I want to do an overlay, it's now on the screen where people on YouTube can actually see the chat. So now with the overlay, let's say CyberAx's got his own channel. He's doing the he's on or you got your own channel, and you got people in there that they're chatting between each other, and they're chatting between each other, and I can see what they're saying between both channels. But at the same time, everyone else can see what's being discussed. So at least now, if I'm responding to, let's say, CyberAx is one channel and Mania is in the other channel, both channels know what's being said, what is being asked. So that's a good feature in my mind. So I like that feature of it. But again, I don't think I'm going to play around with a couple more, and I'll determine which one's best for me. And if it's the free version of StreamYard, it's going to be the free version of StreamYard. So
Yeah, you gotta do what's best for you.
yeah. Thing about StreamYard, I think a lot more people know how to use it because more people use it.
Right.
So that's how it boils down to. So we've been doing this. I'm trying to look at my time.
Almost an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, hour 20 minutes. I was looking at keeping this at hour and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up for the evening. I do appreciate everybody that's showing up. This was a fun discussion. I think
It was a pretty fun discussion. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I mean, what we're seeing is we're seeing this stuff taking off now. From and I'm going to throw this up here. Let me do this. From this picture, this is a different picture, but an AI generated picture of a robot walking a real dog, because the owner of the robot and the dog told the robot to walk the dog. But that picture, that looks real, and
it does.
And that was generated by a computer with me giving details, like I want a picture that looks like this. That was not even thought. I did not even think that could exist in my lifetime, able to do something like that in my lifetime. I never thought I could. That was there. But it is there. We have it. GPT. We have it there. I mean, we saw the response when I asked who is Dr. Manu. And it gave us a response, including features like my Sippy Cup Adventures. It answered it. It gave it in what was a recent video, which was a simulcast from Will's.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave good answers, and not only did it give answer, it even gave a link to my store. It gave a link to my YouTube channel. Link to the person's Facebook page. So So when it answered these questions about who I was,
Mhm.
it gave everything that its sources, and that maybe that's I think that's brand new. I don't think started doing that until maybe within the last month.
Right.
So that just tells you how much time and energy they're putting on ChatGPT to add things to it to make it better. What scares me with ChatGPT is how much will it give you if you asked it a question.
Yeah, they give you too much
Yes,
information, and
like like earlier. And let's just say if I asked a question, who is Robert Thomas that hangs out with Dr. Lanou? Next thing we know, we get your name, picture, your mugshot, your birth date, your address, your FICO score, your social security number, the picture of your car, the picture of the cat that used to live with you, the picture of your next cat that you're gonna get, because you don't even know about that cat yet, but that's gonna be your next picture of your next cat because hey, it's just that good, So. So someone else is here? Let's see who just. Oh, David's back. David,
Hey,
what's
guys.
going on, man? Hey, so
How are you?
we are good, doing well. We're just starting to wrap things up because, but we're talking about ChatGPT, and what scares me about ChatGPT is how much information eventually will it give to people because they're growing every day. They're expanding, yeah. And one of the things I said about it is, we will look up Robert Thomas one day, and it's going to give us the Robert Thomas's picture, his address, his birthday, his high school mascot, year he graduated, his old pets, his future pets, just the whole 9 yards.
yeah, it's basically something that's scary.
Yeah, something that is scary.
That is frightening.
Yeah.
And I'm a very happy camper right now. Just do a ChatGPT, but I just sold a pen and I did very well in the transaction, so I'm a happy camper.
Well, I think I got something for you. Since you're a happy
thing.
camper, there we go. Wait, that's a perfect one right there on the screen.
What is it? I can't see it. I'm not seeing. I don't get. All I've got is the 3 guys. What's on the screen?
3 guys. 2 more would be 5 guys. Okay. But
that was a good one.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, did you guys hear about the frauditor who was criticizing his girlfriend for being overweight? You know how she managed to lose 112 pounds of fat and flub? Broke up with him.
Yeah.
Broke up with him.
Wow. They could go for so many of them.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Especially,
someone told me the other day Gwen Serio had a kid.
That
I'm
is
just trying
true.
to figure out how the procreation process works. Oh, that must.
If I do not want to talk about that right this moment to stay offline. I'll tell you a little bit more. And
Okay.
there's a reason. There's a reason.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, nothing bad, nothing mean. Just there's a reason. But we're wrapping things up, and so I'm going to let you guys stay up, and I'm going to play my outro music because we were talking about my outro music's my let's get it started here. There you go. So I'd like to thank everybody on board. Things that has became reality, and how far are we from some other realities from sci-fi?
Who is that outro music?
I'll tell you in a little bit. I have to look it up.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. This is one of those musics that I have license to. Yeah, I love this. I said my outro. It is an awesome outro. But anyways, everybody, appreciate you being here. Love that you were here. Thank you for coming. And keep your ears and eyes open because I will have more content out in the near future. Thank you to David, to Robert Thomas, to Will when he popped in here. Thank you, everybody. Have a good